So, welcome back to Pod's Degree Garage, and we're going to continue our series Anatomical Approach to Human Body Topology. And today we're going to talk about the theoretical basis of our head topology. So, this book, right, Gray's Anatomy, when we open it, it is one hell thick of a book. There are over 2,400 pages on it. However, the part that we need right now is actually on chapter 36. And it's going to be titled Face and Scalp. Scalp, I mean. And yeah, this is page 607. And if you go to the next page, 608, we will find this rather grim looking diagram of a human head. So these purple lines are called relaxed skin tension lines, or in short, Crazel's lines, which I guess based on the person who discovered the lines. However, I kind of failed to identify who is the real inventor of these lines. And yeah, so what is relaxed skin tension lines? Well, I figured it's easier to think of it as the spring theory. No one calls it that, but I do. So, here's the thing. Let me open my Photoshop, and so yeah, let's think of a coiled spring, something like this. And the metal is gonna be coiled horizontally, right? So this is horizontal. And the metal, which is this thing, is gonna be coiled horizontally, like this. And when it's coiled horizontally, then the force applied will go vertically. It will go down like this, and then the spring will be kind of squished down like that before the force kind of stops, and then it will spring back to its original shape, right? And it goes vice versa. If the metal is coiled vertically like this, then the force applied will go horizontally, right? So yeah, in short, the force applied will be perpendicular to the direction of the coils, and that is the spring theory. So what has it got to do with this diagram of ours, or our head topology in general? So to apply the theory to our head topology, it's helpful to think about a piece of fabric. So let's go back to our Photoshop and let's turn on something like this. And so let's think about a piece of fabric, and we lay it flat on the ground, something like this. And then we push it in this vertical direction, right? So what will happen to the fabric? Well, it will then fold, right? So this is what it's gonna look like. And yeah, and it will fold. So this is the direction of the fold, and they will fold horizontally, right? So yeah, so you will, if you notice that the fold direction will be perpendicular, so this fold direction will be perpendicular to the direction of the applied force, which is this one, right? So though what we can see with our naked eyes are only the fold, which is this thing, while for the applied force we cannot see them. However, we can predict where it is based on the direction of the folds. So yeah, so this diagram or these purple lines basically show us the horizontal lines, or where the fold lines will be when there is an applied force in action. Then, what is the applied force in case of our head or face? Well, it's the movement of our head and facial muscles. For example, this is the easy one. and these lines, these curved lines on the forehead. So they go in horizontal direction, right? And when the muscles on our forehead contract or are activated, they will go in this vertical direction. And when that happens in our forehead area, there will be these horizontal lines, right? So that is the spring theory. Now we're going to dig deeper into the rest of the head. You will notice that we will focus a little bit more on the face first because that's where the more complex actions will happen. Later on, we will tie the loose ends on the rest of the head. And as for the face, I divide it into three zones. So this is the face, and I kind of divide it into three zones, which is the top zone, which consists of the forehead and the brow, the middle zone, which consists of the eyelids and the cheeks, and the bottom zone, which is the jaw and the chin. So, do you remember about the hierarchy that I mentioned earlier? The anatomy supports the creation of 3D model, which in turn supports the creation of an artwork. So, the anatomy should enable a proper deformation of the 3D model. And as far as the face goes, there are three major shapes. So one major shape for each one facial zone that it should be able to support. However, however great this diagram is, you would notice that it's still not very visual or intuitive. And you would also notice that these two images from the side view and the front view are quite different from one another. So, so yeah, that's the reason why on the next part we will pull some photographs of real life models to see further in better details as to how this diagram and the spring theory work in real life. So, yeah, I'll see you there.